I'm Raine. I am a director. I'm represented by Some Such, which is an amazing production company. A little bit of a background on me is that I started my career in advertising. So I was an advertising creative, and I used to work in a pair with my friend Lisa Turner, wherever you are. Hi. And yeah, working in advertising is quite interesting because you learn a lot. You get to work on big shoots, big budgets, but I was kind of feeling a little bit frustrated and kind of wanted, firstly, to kind of go past a minute, because obviously ads are usually around 60 seconds. And also I kind of watched a lot of these directors on shoots and thought, maybe in a slightly arrogant way, oh, I reckon I could do that. So I nagged a friend who had just got a job at Some Such and just said, look, send me any briefs that you possibly can, even if it's like 500 quid, you know, like start-up musician or whatever. I just want to make a music video. And that ended up being my first video, and we did a few more, and then I got signed by Some Such. So today, well, that was supposed to be the first slide. So today I'm going to talk about a music video that I shot, I can't actually remember when, but a while ago. Not that long ago, but a while back. For Denai, who is a fantastic musician. And yeah, I'll just play it and then I'll talk through the process.
Stranger things unfolded, pushing me further behind. You never see it coming, a feeling undefined. Forcing myself not to see too much in the little things. Too nervous to be on my own now. I find you in it will trickle into you like floods, find corners no one knows. It will trickle into you, can't dig the roots that never grow. But you hold strangers
Oh. Thank you. It's quite funny, that ending is always really awkwardly long, but I kind of like that. Quite a few people have said that I needed to cut it earlier, but I like that it's so awkward. And the reason is because the track is about anxiety. And it's interesting for me because I also suffer from anxiety, and often it's sort of seen as like quite a dark thing, and it's often associated with depression, and when you think of like an anxious person, you sort of think of like this, ooh, it's kind of like, it's never seen as very colourful or creative, or I don't know, sometimes even quite funny. And so with the video, what I wanted to do is sort of show that it comes in many forms. And Denai's brief was quite open, but it did mention about flowers and growth, and how it was kind of just, she sort of talks about how it was about anxiety, and that she's really interested in incorporating flowers in there. And I really liked that idea, because I like the idea of sort of a pretty look being made into something that's about anxiety. Anyway, I'm rambling. The first thing that I kind of wanted to do is something with flowers. I'm obsessed with stop frame animation, and I remember doing it in GCSE art. I remember doing stop frame GCSE art, and I'd been looking up GIFs of like flowers growing, and I thought what could be really nice is to actually cut out every frame in a growing flower GIF, which is why we've got a few. Hopefully you noticed it, but there's quite a few moments where we've got that in there. So that's kind of where that idea came from. So the video is like a lot of kind of thoughts that I've had and wanted to put into this weird explosion of like anxiety comes in many forms. But yeah, so that was a nightmare doing that. It took forever to cut out every frame. Here's a picture of the animator, who was fantastic. They were spending hours doing that. And then the other thing that I was really interested in is the idea of Denai being at the spine of the film, because, they're her words. And a shot that I've always loved is the first shot of Clockwork Orange. I'll just quickly play it. I'm sure most of you know it. You sort of get the point anyway. But yeah, I like the idea of doing this tracking shot where she's kind of at the center of the video, but it's all, all the moments that happen are kind of her, kind of in her mind. So yeah, that was another thought. And then I also get really obsessed with certain things. Like, I don't think I'm a diva director, but there'll be one thing that I'll just be like, I need that. And I'd looked up, I think it was like when I'd been Googling weird YouTube, when you go on a YouTube binge and you're looking up weird, funny videos. And I found this, which is like these like amazing.
I saw this thing online and thought it would be a good idea to get one. So far, it's proving impossible to assemble. Whoa! Flying shark is
Anyway, I found it hilarious. But I just thought I need to have these. I need to have these in my video, and it kind of made sense. Just having these sharks sort of come in, because they're like the kind of angry, the scary moment, but also quite beautiful. Anyway, so yeah, that was another thought, and they kind of all, I guess I sort of, it sounds like chaos. My mind kind of does work quite, it is a bit chaotic, but I managed to sort of weave it into one idea, which is, like I've said several times, anxiety comes in many forms, and I wrote a treatment, and Denai was really into it, and her thing was that she just wanted it to be as weird and creepy as possible, which I loved. I'll quickly talk about the shoot day, because I've just realised I've been rambling on for ages. We had one day to do it, and it was quite complicated because we had the tracking shot, which meant that we had to shoot it at 75 frames a second, which meant the shot altogether, that long dolly shot, was actually about 20 seconds. So when we were shooting, everyone had to be kind of timed. So like when the sharks came in, they were operated by a person. So we had a choreographer, my friend Hayley, just going, "Sharks!" And, you know, everyone kind of had to do everything in time. We only ended up doing about 6 takes, and I think we ended up using the second to last. So it's quite a chaotic shoot, but really fun. And there's I was really pleased with my big bit of equipment there. I don't really know that much about technical stuff, but I was really happy about that. And then for the sort of cutaways, it made sense to have a really strong performance, and I'm really obsessed with curtains, so I liked the idea of having this kind of green world, because green's quite creepy and it's got a lot of meanings. And yeah, the only thing that wasn't planned was that sort of still life setup and the dog. I needed to have that dog in there, and he's so cute. So, but yeah, those two things are the things I was like, okay, why don't we just quickly move some of these props, because I didn't feel like you got to see them enough in the wide shot. So we quickly did a little setup of that. The art director, Hattie, was amazing. But yeah, all of that stuff was shot on 16mm film, which is really fun. I love film. And there's the setup, which just looks crap, but hopefully, you can't really tell that it was that crap. And a little bit of background, sort of post-production on it. So my references, similar to Holly, actually, I'm really interested in looking at sort of paintings and getting a painterly look rather than a kind of pristine, like digital look. So these are my references for cinematography. James Bland, my DOP, who's amazing, lit it beautifully. And then I worked with a great colorist called Jack McGinty at Time Based Arts. And yeah, they did an amazing job. And it was really important for me for it to feel quite painterly and surreal, because I just felt like, yeah, it kind of makes sense to the idea, but also I feel like I've seen lots of glossy music videos and I wanted it to be a little bit more raw. And then lastly, the edit for me was like the thing that made it amazing. And my editor, Matt, added in the weirdest little things. And he used to cut trailers. And I don't know if you ever watch it again, he's added in all these amazing kind of epic sound effects, which I just thought was incredible. And like little details like the dog licking his mouth. And I just thought that really made it. And I'm always quite mean about my own work, but I am quite proud of that, and it wasn't just me, obviously. It's always a big team of people, and it was awesome. And yeah, thank you for listening.